that part. This is another episode of the Speakeasy podcast, where we talk about the behind the scene journey of what it is to be the speaker and the author. We talk about those things that most don't share when they go on a on another podcast, or that they share in their journey as a speaker and author. And it is to be able to help you guys, those who are our viewers, our listeners, to be able to take this journey to its furthest possibility. That is always the thing that we hold dearest to, is that we want you to be able to take your own personal speaker and author journey to the furthest reaches you can, to go ahead and step outside of your comfort zone, step outside of your boundaries, and really achieve some great things that others may not have ever seen before. But with that being said, we know that there's a lot that goes on when it comes to the author journey. And so I always get questions asked of me asking, well, as an author, how do you feel as though things have really changed in, this whole authorpreneur journey, in this whole authorpreneur process? I'm glad you asked. So as an author, there was one time where an author had to pay out thousands and thousands of dollars. They had to go and they had to buy tons and tons of books, hundreds of books, and then just sell books on the back end to try to make up and recoup the money that they invested into this opportunity. Times, they have changed, you guys. Times, they have changed. And so with that being said, we really have to look at it now and say that it's anybody's game, right? The possibilities are endless. The options and opportunities are astounding. And anyone can wake up in the morning, decide that they're going to be an authorpreneur, be an author, and go all in and make it happen. Here's the thing, is that we have two opposite ends of the spectrum right now. So we have the one end of the spectrum where all opportunities are open to us. The world is our oyster. We can do whatever we want with it. And then we have the other option where there's too many options, where we look at it and literally people get overwhelmed from so much information. They get overwhelmed from the process. They get overwhelmed from, so many different people saying, I'm an author coach. I'm gonna help you to journal. I'm going to help you to do this. I'm going to help you to do that. And so people really get overwhelmed and they tend not to move forward as being an author because they're scared, because they think they have to have more money. They have to be at a different level in their lifestyle or something along that lines. But in today's age, you can self-publish a book for pretty much $0. It would take more time and energy than anything else to publish a book. Now, granted, there's some things that you would do later on down the line when it comes to publishing that book. But in the beginning, there's only a few things that you need to do. But that really does take me into a conversation of, what are you willing to do? See, this is the thing. And I have to say this, and I know some of you are going to cringe when I say it. There has been this whole idea that authors don't have to do anything. That there's this stigma that authors are not entrepreneurs, that all you do is write all day. That's not a real job. What? And so we're fighting against this stigma because new authors are coming in thinking, I just write a book and then I'm going to be famous and I'm going to be rich. But the reality is that hardly anyone gets rich off of writing a book. Unless you get a really big advance from a publishing company, unless you're like really putting your feet to the ground and pushing and actually getting books published on a regular, consistent basis, there is no one that has become a millionaire just off of books alone. There's always other things that have to go into it. And that's one of the reasons why we bring you the Speakeasy podcast, is because you can see from the journey of the many speakers. We've been doing this podcast for over a year now. You've gotten to see many speakers and authors and their journey. They've told you about some of the things that have happened, from living in their cars and being homeless to going through some really tragic and traumatic things in their lives. They've told you about some of the health issues that they endure on a day-to-day basis. And so it's our hope that you would come and be able to take root and sit down and listen to the interviews as they come through, because there's somebody who's going to resonate with you directly. There's somebody that's going to connect with you. Well, the same thing can be said about the author journey. Guess what? There's somebody that can resonate, or somebody that can directly connect with your author journey. Why? Because they're going through what exactly you went through, or they're trying to get out of a situation, and you have the information that they need. You have the tools, the steps, the resources that they need in order for them to be a success. Here's the thing. You never got started and wrote the book. With all the opportunities for you to be able to write a book, now is the best time to write a book. Like, you are, what? You're an entrepreneur and you don't have a book? Why not? You're a speaker and you don't have a book? Why not? There's no reason why you should not have at least a good couple handfuls of books that are on your table, things, your life lessons, things that you can teach people, things that you can put in front of people to be able to say, hey, everyone may not want a class. Everyone may not want to sign up for a webinar. Everyone may not even want to come to a live event, but in some way, somehow, they may get a hold of your book and it can change their life. Now, I know that's a little far-fetched for some of you to believe, right? It goes a little further than the norm. It goes a little further than the typical response. But I need you to understand is that this is what's really going on when we think about the author and the speaker. This is what's really going on behind the scenes, that we wake up in the morning and yes, we have work to do. We have marketing. I hope that you've kind of gotten a hold of that one, with as many speakers and authors that have come on that tell you on a consistent basis that, guess what? Promote, promote, promote. You're always marketing. The marketing bug does not leave. You cannot. There's no way that you can be a successful authorpreneur and successful author without writing on a consistent basis. But also you have to market on a consistent basis. Listen, that's one of those things that in the author journey has really drastically changed. Because in the beginning, you had to really get out there and go to bookstores and get your books in the stores and go and make these things happen in order to get book sales. Now you have so many options with live streaming and podcast interviews and radio shows, and you have so many options available to you that would help you to market your book. So what are you waiting for? Some of you, it's because you don't have a plan. Some of you, it's because all you were so eager to do was to literally get that one book published, and then that was it. You didn't really have a plan outside of that. As an author, guess what? You shot yourself in the foot. You shot yourself in the foot, because if the only plan that you had was to go and just to publish one book, that means you only have one lesson to share. You only have one story to tell. You only have one resource that you can share. I'm quite sure that you have many more than just that one. So what's stopping you? And so some people say, again, you're an author. You don't do anything all day. I beg to differ. I do a lot in my day. But I'm more than just an author, as you see, because who am I? I'm the host of the Speak Easy podcast. I'm also a coach. I have several coaching classes and coaching clients that I work with on a day-to-day basis. I have events, live events that I go and speak at. I have events, virtual events that I go and I speak at. There's so many different options. But again, that's where it goes back to, guess what? You have the options What are you waiting for? And so those of you who are listening in the comments, you tell me, as a speaker, as an author, what has really been holding you back? I asked this question of people in some of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, because I really feel as though we've kind of missed the mark. We have so many opportunities available to us. And I did a live stream where I was talking about how you can either create opportunities, say yes to opportunities that are given to you, or find opportunities, seek them out. And we've gotten so comfortable with opportunities just showing up. We've gotten comfortable and said that those are going to be the ones that we say yes to. There's so many more out there. And what if nobody asks you and gives you an opportunity today? Would you not want to go after an opportunity simply because nobody offered it to you? No. The opportunities are endless. And we need to know and understand that not only are the opportunities endless, but we can do something major with it. So I've been able to connect with authors from around the world, and some of the same things kind of roll off the tongue as they're being interviewed when it comes to, the changes from what used to be the typical authorpreneur journey to what's the authorpreneur journey now. Some of them still have not implemented live streaming, even though video is a huge way to market yourself, a huge way to connect with your audience and your viewers and listeners and readers. It's a huge way to build a community, build a following. Guess what? Something that we learned from the early YouTubers was that I could go live and just talk, and some people will show up, and then they'll become fans and show up even more, and I can build from that. Now, what we've learned in today's society, here we are in 2018, and we can take that to a whole nother level. Now we can strategize, and we can find ways to market ourselves through doing it, and marketing ourselves through video and live streaming on the different platforms and all of those things. We can find ways to capitalize on all of it. But guess what? Can't capitalize on anything if you're not implementing something. I'll repeat that just in case you didn't hear it. You can't capitalize on anything until you're doing something. So why haven't you gotten started yet? Why is it you only have the one book? And what are you going to do past just having that one book? I get it. But if I give you guys one way that book could really be making you more money, would you be willing to do it? I'm serious. I want to put this challenge out there for you, that if I gave you another way that you could utilize the book that you have, would you do it? I don't know if you're really that focused yet. But if you are, I'll tell you what to do. I want you to connect with me. Go to bit.ly/talk to Altovise. I want to talk to you directly on the phone. No email, no send me messages. I want to talk to you directly because I want to find out if you're really serious about taking this to a whole new level. bit.ly/talk to Altovise. And I know some of you again are going to go, well, I'm serious. I really want to do this. I'm going to get it done. This is my year. How many people said that said those same words at the beginning of 2018, that here we are midway through, still haven't gotten started? How many people started off so gung-ho? Yes, they wanted to do it all. They were going to run to the top of the mountains and scream. But then they got to the mountain and realized that there was going to be work involved. That part. Then they got to the mountain and they realized that there was a possibility that it could all fall apart. It's not as easy as you thought. The same thing can be said about speaking, is that it's not as easy as you thought, but the results speak volumes. The opportunities speak volumes. And if I'm willing to put the work in, then I can really go the distance. So I always make sure that I'm putting myself out there and letting people know what it is that we can really achieve. And so Michael said in the comments, lack of preparation makes you incapable of recognizing an opportunity. You know how they say, don't get ready, stay ready. People say, I'm getting ready to do this, I'm getting ready to do that. No, don't get ready, stay ready. Have yourself prepared for the opportunities that are about to come your way. Be prepared for somebody walking up to you and saying, I want you to speak at my event because I read your book and I loved it. Because again, if you are an entrepreneur, you are a speaker and an author. If you're an author, you are a speaker and an entrepreneur. And if you're a speaker, then you should also be an author and you are an entrepreneur. The three go hand in hand. There's no way to separate the three. Anyone who has gone through life and separated those three and not utilized the opportunity within having those three connected, they're missing revenue in their business. You're missing revenue in your business. You're missing opportunities in your business. As an author, you should be doing speaking opportunities. And I get people who say all the time, well, I don't know how to network. I don't know where to find these opportunities. I don't know how to really take this to a whole new level. I don't know how to do this. And so can you help me? I would love to help you. I have a webinar coming up on Thursday. It is the SNAP system, and it's one way that you can utilize and actually add another revenue stream with your book. You already have the book. This is adding another revenue stream as a speaker. It definitely is. And so many times people say, oh, but I'm too shy to speak. I'm an introvert, so I understand that. Oh, but I don't think anybody would want to pay me to speak. I don't think anybody would want to connect with me. Listen, there are not only people that want to connect with you, they're searching for you right now. I can guarantee it. I share speaking opportunities with my clients on a daily basis. Daily basis, I send them speaking opportunities from all over. But that's because they're my clients. And so I'm willing to do the work to send them that information. Are you willing to do the work to either be in an organization or a community where you get that information, or do the work and find that information yourself? Huh? Are you? I know some of you are saying yes. And so those are the ones that I really want to talk to on the phone. bit.ly/talk to Altovise. And then you have so many others who are not saying yes. They're not saying yes to opportunities. They're not saying yes to growing. They're not saying yes to being able to expand. And I want to ask you this question and say, why? How many more opportunities will you miss out on? That part. How many more opportunities will you allow to pass you by because you did not say yes in the moment? You did not say yes to the opportunity that could have catapulted you and your book and your business to a whole new level. Something to be said about that, right? You guys have seen some amazing interviews come through here. Guess what? You guys have some amazing more interviews coming. Don't neglect the fact that just because they're on this podcast and you're not yet, don't neglect that. Don't think that that's something that you can achieve. You can be on podcasts, you can be interviewed, you can be on blogs and all types of other places. But be willing to put in the work. That's what we're going to be hearing about in these next few weeks and future podcasts. You're going to hear about the work that's being put in. When we talk about the behind the scenes, that includes work. I know y'all think the author journey is so easy, that the author journey is just us showing up and, typing away at our computer and then not getting anything else done. No. We still have lives and families to worry about as well. So with that being said, I just had a short message for you guys today because I really want you to go out there. Guess what? Things have changed. Things have gotten so much simpler. It's gotten so much easier. But you still need the guidance. You still need support. You still need somebody teaching you what opportunities and options are available to you. And so, like I said, one of those opportunities is this Thursday, the SNAP webinar. Go to bit.ly/all-snap, that's AWHSNAP, all lowercase, in order for you to find out more information about the webinar. And then, like I said, for those of you that are saying that you're really serious about this, about being a speaker now that you have published your book, I want to talk to you. bit.ly/talk to Altovise. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys because, listen, I still got more work to do as this introverted mompreneur over here. But I want you to understand that I'm always going to bring you resources. I'm always going to bring you interviews for people that have gone through some of the same journeys you're going through right now. Don't neglect the fact that, guess what? If they made it out, so can you. If they achieved great things, so can you. It's no different. It's not. For those of you that are speakers and authors, I would love to have you on the podcast as a guest. If you go to bit.ly/speakeasy podcast, all lowercase, you can definitely come and join in on the fun. Have your seat here on the Speakeasy podcast, where we talk about the behind the scenes of the author and speaker journey. We bring to you the stuff that people do not want to talk about on a regular basis. But guess what? We're talking about it because we know it'll help at least one of y'all to be able to move forward in your business. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out.